Hi everyone. Hey Robert, Michelle, bonsoir, bon après-midi. Chloe, hey, hi there. Hi Jill. Marty, are you here? Hey Janet from Ottawa, long time no see. Nice to see you. Darla, nice to have you here. Welcome aboard. Robin Ann, how are you, my friend? Hi everyone. So it is lovely to have you here. I'm honestly, once we start time, I can, hey Matthew. Once we start time, I'm not going to keep saying hi to everyone because then I'm just going to end up missing someone, and then I'll feel badly, and I don't want anyone to feel missed out. But I see lots of familiar names and some new ones. It's lovely to have everyone here. Tons of snow. Rue Shalom. Hey, bonjour, Nat. It's lovely to have you all here. Leslie, hi there. So again, excuse me if I don't say hello to you, but it's it's all flying by, and so obviously I love to look forward, but I always think that we all the highs and everything are kind of before now we're on time. So here we are cruising along. It's nice to have everyone here. I'm going to wait, a little longer than I normally. Hi, John. A little longer. Um, is sound good for everyone? Not that I can control it, but I think sound should be just fine. Yeah. Okay, then the sound would be on your side. So, I always find when we have a big crowd on board, every now and then a few people have some connection issues. And I'm getting 4 green bars out of 5. So that means my connection is good. I expect it to bounce around a little bit, but let me please just go through a very quick. Hi, Anna Marie. Um, Let me go through a very quick just introduction. Obviously, if you haven't met me before, my name is Patrick Toomey, and I don't live here. I, in fact, live a lot further north than here, but I am from Banff in the Canadian Rockies. Of course, if you know me, and if you don't know me, you don't know that. But some of you may have joined me just a few days ago. I carry when I was in Montreal, but then the day before I was in Quebec City. Right? Hey, Michel, merci. Or sorry, Quebec, Mexico City. All right, so I've been traveling as I often do for a while. I was running a tour down in Oaxaca, principally, of course, the culinary center of Mexico, and then I was up in Mexico City, and now I flew up, changed my plans really, and flew up to Montreal. Thanks, Hannah. And I got onto a train. Now, some of you have met Dave Poulain, who was did Hago. He's just not doing a lot. Oh, I'll show you in a sec. But we're working together, and we have a group of 110 people, about 196 students, and they're all about age 11. You know what? They are lovely. They're cute, and they're coming. It's a school, a French immersion school from Toronto, and the kids speak really good French. It is, hey Joe. It's also, I think, a lot of what I love about Toronto and Canada is the diversity of the people on in the group is fabulous, and it's just I think it's a beautiful thing. I'll tell you about my tag in a second. It's cold, so I have to zip it up. Um, but the teachers are lovely and bright, so it's really engaged and kind of meaningful experience. But they're long days, right? I mean, longer than my normal tour days. Lori, it's the International French School, I think, in Toronto. So everyone's asking about my tag. That is because I am in Valcartier. This is, hey, Mary Beth, this is my permit to go sliding. So a lot happens up here. And I know it's going to keep blowing up into my face. So you don't need to ask me about it anymore. It was the only zip that I had on my jacket. And that's because we're in a whole resort area. And we're in a resort area about 30 minutes north of Quebec City. Robert, did you live here with the military? It's interesting because Valcartier obviously had quite a large Anglophone population once upon a time because there's both Anglican church and a Presbyterian church as well as Catholic. So I'm north of Quebec City. For those of you in Eastern Canada, Toronto, Montreal, and so forth, yeah, all of this huge storm just blew through today. I don't know how the weather is for you in Ottawa, but it started dumping snow at about 8 o'clock last night here. It's actually turned into a gorgeous day. All that noted, the reason I'm here and the reason you're all here is to see the Ice Hotel. So this is North America's only true ice hotel. It started in 2001, and after they built it wonderfully, then it melted. But then they built it again. And it's moved several times, but it's moved out here And of course it melts because that's the whole point. Takes them about a month to build it, about 45 workers, more ice than snow, but both packed together. I will obviously, this is a whole resort area. There's a big water park here in the summer, but in the winter time, it's snow tubing and tobogganing, and that's super fun. But I tell you what, we can talk about that in a few minutes. Let's go around and have a look at the real reason why you've all come here is to see North America's only ice hotel, world famous. Now, the big difference is for my friends in Scandinavia, I saw someone there from Sweden. Hey, Phil, nice to see you, buddy. But if you're in Sweden or Finland, where they also have ice hotels, you're so far north. Remember, if I were to draw a line over to Europe here, I would be in central southern France, right? That's the big difference. But of course, mon pays, ce n'est pas un pays, c'est l'hiver. My country is not a country, it is winter. So today, it is right now. Um, latitude here is about 45, 46, no, 45 north. When you're in, hi from Cyanamur. Yeah, yeah. So, it's not terribly dark inside, but I'll take you in. I promise. And I'm going to walk right through. There's some music, but I have a permit. I'm actually going to be taking my group through here later, but they're out snow tubing at the moment. We're way further north. Even where I live, Allison, I live pretty much online with London. It's just that, of course, we're the cold continent. We have the most water of any continent in the world here in Turtle Island. And yesterday, oh, it's so much fun. Yesterday, we were at a Huron-Wendick village, and I had put it in our camper van group, an image of the Turtle Island. So I'm happy to talk all about that. But the fact that we get such long winters, around here in Quebec City, they average over 3 meters of snow a winter, right? So tons of snow. But this is the chapel. So I'm going to put my arm out and see if any of you wants to take it, and we'll walk into the chapel together. We can enjoy the construction. You know how they always say, don't let water get near electricity? Well, I mean, teach their own. There's electrical plugs. Um, but here we are coming in, and I was testing the reception earlier, and it's pretty good. Have a look at this, everyone. So we are coming in to both an ice hotel. Some of it gives you a sense of what maybe an igloo would like. It's not, because the igloos are made from a whole different formation of that northern and extreme southern, but that northern wind-blown, very dry snow. This is, of course, is ice that they actually make here. Isn't it just gorgeous? Um, Thanks, Doreen. Chloe, people do get married here. People, I think, have even gotten divorced here. um, but people do get married here. That's really the purpose of the chapel. So again, we're just so fun. Let me just give you a little sound here. Aaron and Jeff, is that right? You two are from New Brunswick, if I remember. That's, I don't know if you could just hear that. Oh, that is so lovely. Well, listen, in 3 weeks, maybe I'll be back I'm going to be in Michigan, and then I could come to the wedding. And I'm really good. Like I often perform weddings for people, and sometimes they even stay together. But really, truly, I congratulate them. This would have to be the best place, I think, to get married. Look at this. So again, I'm happy to go on about the history of the area and everything, but some of it's just the sheer artistic nature. So they open it. The very first one, say, was 2001 here in North America, and the very first one in Quebec. And this is the only true ice hotel that we have in Canada. Except you can go to the far north and stay in igloos. Isn't it just fantastic? Now, the washrooms are the only heated things, and they're in a different, more permanent structure. I am by, it's snow and ice, absolutely. Um, I just keep hearing. I want to try and give you some more of the music as well. I don't know if you're hearing it, but here is a spectacular, you are hearing it, an ice altar here. Don't you feel like you should be meeting Superman here? Oh. So let's keep going. We have a half hour together, everyone. Let's go circle around, and we'll see as much as we can, and then we can always come back and have a bit of a chit chat. Here we are. There's the tunnel, but now these are the snow arches. Savez-vous que certains couples vraiment. Allez-y. Oh. Ah. Come español. For the last 20 years, hundreds of couples from around the world have joined here in the Hotel de Glace Chapel. And these are civil celebrations because it's not a true chapel. Um, well, Marion, you're going to see a big pile of yellow in the corner. No, they do actually have. See, there's actually a big hotel complex over here, everyone. Henry. And so it's year round. This is a huge water park in the summer. Some of you might remember doing a tour with Sam and me last summer in Quebec City, and it was like really hot, like high up in the 30s Celsius. We forget how extreme it can be. But this city, say, averages 3 meters, so 10 feet of snow. It's not really cold, Natalie. But good question, though. Let's chat about that. And you have over 140 days a year with at least a centimeter of snow. Now, this particular run's not open, but that is snow tubing out here. So that's what happens in the winter. So the summer, it's water parks, and in the winter, snow tubing. So our 100 kids who are all 11 years old, and you know what? The noise volume can be high, but they are lovely, polite kids. I'm really, really enjoying their time. I wouldn't do nonstop tours with that age group, but it's neat to see them, and they speak good French. But they're all out having a blast of a time. But you see some of the structure of the walls. Now these are the Laurentian Mountains. Don't worry, we're going to go back into the hotel. That's obviously our priority today. But these are les Laurentides. We're on the north side, same side that the Exmertin. It's the same side that Quebec City is on of the mighty St. Lawrence. I did do a little, I guess it was on TikTok, a little video the other day. No, I think I did one with YouTube that actually had the ice floating down the river. The icebreakers were out yesterday. And so it's incredible. But as you go north here, remember just the province of Quebec, I'm talking about Canada, just the province of Quebec has 1,000,000 lakes. This is Laurentian forest. So that's all dotted around. Oh, I'm glad you did see. I didn't know if the YouTube showed up or not. So you do have some pine. Now the wind is up and not as bad as we had worried about today. I was quite worried this morning for the kids. Oh, thanks, Chloe. I was a little worried for the kids this morning because yesterday was much, much colder. We had a wind chill of -23. This morning was only about -8 when I woke up, but they were talking about 80-kilometer wind gusts. And that happens, right? There's this natural entrance into the continent. Coming up the St. Lawrence, the mighty fluvial river. Thanks, Margaret. And so that's the effect. So that was the chapel. Hi, Patty. Nice to see you. Now let's all go into the hotel. The problem is I didn't mortgage my house, so I'm not going to be able to go up to the bar and have a drink. But you're looking at for your cheapest room here about $400 a night. Hi, Gina. Nice to see you. Thanks, Lorraine. But have a look at these doors we come here. Now, if anyone fancies a little dancing, just give you a few of the beats. But yeah, see? Now, it's open once you have a ticket. You have to pay to come in and tour it, self-guide. I literally am bringing all of my group in here with Dave Poulin later. We're going to bring all 110 in here and walk them through, which is fun. But we're waiting till it's instead of nighttime. The only reason I put up our Hago visit here today was because it was the first downtime I've had in a few days. Here you are. Il y a une seule hôtel de glace en Amérique. Et vous y êtes. So there's only one ice hotel in North America, and here you are. This unique Hotel de Glace is reincarnated on a new theme each winter. And this is fun because I haven't been here for several years. Thanks, Mary. And it does feel different. So then it starts to melt after about 3 months. But it's a testament to the fact the climate allows for this. Isn't it just spectacular, the actual ice formation pillars? Thanks, Kate. Nice to have my fellow Canadians here. So if you'd like to check in with me, you're welcome to. There's the Hôtel de Glace. You see, Allison, when it really, a good question, Cindy. I haven't really extracted a theme this year. I think it's actually the river because of her, the St. Lawrence, and that's the same image we see around Quebec City. Thanks, Casey. When it starts to melt, literally they would just close it down. So it's open for tours during the day. Yeah, I'll go back outside, Jonna. But thanks, Patty. But thanks, Holly. But but really, they keep it open. It's safe, and then at about 8:30 at night, they seal it off, and nobody else is allowed in at that point. And then people come in to sleep. So check this out. Now, some people drink, some don't. But how's this for a bar? What do you think of them apples? Look at this. So we can all stand around, and the drinks are served in ice glasses as well. So a little bit of music. So uh, so here we go. Welcome to the Hotel de Glace Bar. Here we serve tens of thousands of cocktails every winter, obviously in ice glasses. Some of you, yeah, there's one. That's right, Cindy. I remember that Ashak was doing that, and I remember one time I was at a tourism conference in Orlando, Florida. I had a great time down there, but Canadian tourism people thought it was a good idea to host their party in an ice bar there as well. And for us who had flown away in the middle of winter to do, thanks, Nat, to go to a conference, it's like, oh my goodness me, I was looking for some warm weather. So, but look at it, and these designs, fantastic, perfect for ice cream, yeah. And if anybody fancies dancing, because I totally fancy dancing, look at these two up here. Thanks, Pauline. Isn't this just spectacular, everyone? So just the sheer artistry, and I know at home in Banff, we have all the snow sculptures and the ice is out of Lake Louise. Both my kid, who I think the world of, did an excellent tour the other night, and then of course um, our our colleague as well is doing tours there. So it's lovely to see. I think you've probably seen some of the Banff ones, and I know everyone loves it. So it's all our winter experiences. Pam, sorry, I was hoping Pam would be here today, but I think she's working now. Shall we all go dancing? Um, oh no, Jennifer. So they do two things, right? So they build the structure of it. There is a metal structure to the outside, and that's just to build it. And you'd actually find it up in the arches. The construction is really. You're welcome to Can with me. Yes, we can. But they build the arch. Then the main walls are ice, and then they pack in the snow. Remember, this is made snow, and it's very specifically made. Of course, we make snow on all our ski hills and everything, but it's made snow, and they adjust the humidity level. Remember, the big difference here is very, very humid in Quebec, which means when we had a minus 18 yesterday morning, that felt more like minus 30 at home. Now let's just go. I won't talk too much. I'll come up to the bar, but it's a little noisy. But have a look at this. Anybody want to come sit around here? So the temperature inside. Let me see. Um, hey, Lynn. No, you're not seeing my breath. I mean, I have to have my jacket on and I have my gloves on, but I'm not. Thanks, Cynthia. But I'm not by any stretch cold. So I can be back here like serving you all drinks as well. Hey, Punky, it's nice to see you. It takes Lori over a month to build it. So they can extract ice from the lakes, which is the early way. Thanks, Leslie. But really, how they do it now is they make their own ice, and it's all about the density of your ice. Really matters as well, so it's easier to work with. So that is important. I mean, the construction said, "Hey, pour mes amis en France, look at that. There's an Eiffel Tower for you." So this is the bar, and I mean, what you all think that I should have a drink here after? Gosh, now I am actually with 100 students, so I don't think I probably will. But if you were all here with me, hi Mimi. So so yeah, we got our whole champagne. One of the things in I hope it's not too noisy with music. So one of the things here in the province of Quebec, um, is particularly in Quebec City, is drinks are super expensive. Um, oh no, yeah. So if you just want, you get a sense of here. Let me show you. I don't know if it's got all the drinks here, but yeah. Oh, good. You get about a maple whiskey for $15, which is fun. Now there are some people here. I do ask take as many postcards as you want, but I don't like to put out photos of other people. Um, it's a whole team, Chris, of sculptors per se. Here you go. Let me tell you all about it. So they're right there. So it's 42 workers and crafts people as 15 sculptors. So this time around, I haven't actually seen, but I did, I must admit, just arrive here and made sure I had reception, came back. Let's not go into the high voltage section there, but here's the deep, this is, the work is impressive. But keep in mind, of course, in Banff, there's always a sign up for the sculptors. Do you know in Banff when we do it? Now, this is obviously a business thing today. What do you think of the electric chair? Should we try it? Um, but of course, here it is a business at the end of the day. But I mean, one that people would be extremely proud of. I don't know if that's going to work. Here, hold on. I'm going to give you a quick two-me twist. So close your eyes 1 second, and I'm just going to tip this up. There we are. I feel like it's terribly shocking. Um, Let me show you exactly how shocking it actually is, in case you're wondering. You ready for this? This is just how shocking the electrical room is. Oh. So these are all the inner workings out here. Oh, that's fantastic, isn't it? Um, and then these two over here are really bugging me. Um, there. Oh, the kids are going to love this. The only thing is that we're going to walk them in very small groups. Um, so let's keep going, and we'll get past some of the funky music because we'll head outside. Look at that sky up there too. So again, there's a big, obviously permanent building on this side. But let's carry on. They do have a hot tub out here, which is so much. But these are where the rooms are. So 44 rooms this year. But yeah, I was just making the one point that at home when we have the snow sculptures in Banff, it's not a competition. I love that fact. They're just artists who are hired to do it, just like the buskers are hired to perform. Um, and uh, and so it's sort of a and it's a sort of inclusive thing. So let's go into the room, shall we? Yeah, 44 hours is what I think it is. This year round. Oops, sorry, caught my edge there a little bit. So hey, so all sorts of different rooms. They start from 400 Canadian a night. Now, I have to be very honest about one of the frustrating things in tourism in this fine country of mine, and even though, of course, I've worked in tourism here for years, um, done deal, Shelley. You see a price, they'll say $400, and then it'll be plus, 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 and that's always a little bit frustrating. Um, there you go. So some of the suites, thanks, Colleen. Some of the suites have fireplaces. By the way, just thinking about it as a little reminder. Now I'm going home tomorrow for a few days. Look at this. Oh, can you bear this one? Now, this one, I love this room. This is a very strong First Nations connection here, including a bison, and there's the turtle, of course, Turtle Island. How cool is this? Um, and then I'm going to Michigan, which I'm really excited about because I haven't. That's not a tour; it's a different work. But then I will be going to Winnipeg finally, so I'm going to see if I can get permission. I've already emailed them, but I still haven't heard back about doing a tour with the polar bears at the zoo, which are the rescue bears. So I'm excited about that as well. And another one of those great winter cities. Have a look at that eagle. Although it's not really. I'm totally going to do a tour in Detroit. It is so. I'm not allowed to touch it. It's fenced off here. But what they've done is this is actually a mattress. So that's how you get past the ice. Now, just talking about, of course, the most famous people sleeping on ice, the Inuit, who, of course, are in the north of Canada, in Greenland, Alaska. So the Inuit, Tara, I have to get back to you. It'll be like third week of February. Um, and but what they do is they would sleep. This is traditionally, of course, pre-contact in the igloos. They would actually sleep naked as a family unit, and they would put down furs at the bottom and on top. Right now, this here, you go onto this, and I mean, most of us here in this country have winter camped before. So I have a sleeping bag that's good to -30. It's not nearly as comfortable as a bed like this. You wake up when you sleep overnight, well below freezing. A lot of you have had this experience. You wake up with quite a puffy face in the morning, right? And it's just one of the ways, Judy, it would, except for you seal it around with furs, right? And that's furs make all the difference. And so yesterday, and I didn't do a tour because I have lots of places where they ask you not to photograph. I think this little bit of art here is a bit loony. Thanks, MB. But the UR in French, but the Wendic community that we went to, they made the point that they were virtually historically a vegetarian culture, and any fur you see was used. It's never propped up to say that you're, it's never kind of a pride of hunting or anything. Like a really lovely, gentle culture that existed here for thousands of years off the land. So, it's a pretty wonderful thing to see. Suzanne, isn't this fabulous? And I don't really know why there's not one, for example, up in Yellowknife. It might be access. See, the great thing about Quebec City, right? Because Quebec City, the greater area all around, is only about 850,000 people, but you're a 3 hour drive up from fabulous Montreal, and then you're about five from Ottawa, and then you can even do it from Toronto in a day. So they have access to a big market, and then of course up from the States. Look at that bed. What do you think of that? So um, you went. That's wonderful. Yeah, these are the rooms. These are the rooms that they sleep in, and they will here tonight. Um, Someone's asking me about the bathroom. Well, there's this little yellow mark in the corner. You go out, they do have, and it's actually behind these doors where they actually have bathroom facilities, so you don't have to go too far. And you know, but you actually do get some heat off this. This is what's amazing. There will be some light here at night. Um, these rooms actually get. Oh, you're welcome, Anna Marie. These rooms get quite a bit more expensive. That is cool, hey? I think, gosh, we should all lay down together. But let's keep going. Anna Marie, isn't it fun? I'm so thrilled to bring you all here, and I wish that we could um, talk my buddy Dave back into doing, because he lives in Montreal, and I think like we need a permanent guide there. But Hago just wasn't that much for him, sadly. Um, they have these sort of curtains here, and that's why part of the deal is that it's only for residents in the evening when you come here. And it's extremely soundproof. I'm thrilled that my reception's so good because the snow sort of absorbs it. Hey, anyone fancy a teddy bear? Um, yeah, don't forget to put your boots. No kidding. Well, what they do is they prep you at night, and they leave things out to slide your feet in and all of that. This is just look at this. That is just cuteness is absolutely. Um, it's sorry, I missed what the question was. If you need to, this room is lovely. See, again, this is where it all goes around to a little courtyard, and that's where you have the hot tubs and the bathroom facility. So extremely well designed. You know, and these are teddy bear prints. Well, tuck you in the sense, Ron. Um, I think they turn the rooms down, um, and they turn the rooms down and they prep your room for you. Um, I did do a Mont Tremblant. No, they're not in sleep bags. Sorry if you missed. I'm not sleeping here, Jill. No, 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 no. I'm staying in Quebec City. I just brought. Say, I'm here. Thanks, baby. Here with 110 people. Um, do you know, Allison? Let me answer that. But but it is. Sorry, just missing a couple of questions here, but that one, yeah, the fire extinguisher. That's because this is officially a hotel, right? It's officially a public service, and I mean, theoretically, all of these things could catch on fire in the worst case scenario. Now, the reason why, so you're not sleeping in a sleeping bag. I'm gonna. I don't want to. That's a nice soft mattress, but these are furs, and that's what makes the big difference. Um, and it's they give you the cold shoulder. No, we're not sleeping here. It's no. I have a group of say on average 11-year-old. I haven't done a group this young in a long time, and I'm really having a wonderful time with them. This is La Ours. Um, I couldn't bear that one any longer, so I'm going to move on. And there's Neptune down at the end here, but it is. Now have a look in here. This is just so some of the structure. Here's a family room. So this is where we could all stay together at some point. And so when I say tuck you in, it's Robin, I was asking about that. Tuck you in, they come and they really put on extra covers and beds, and so you sort of settle and you probably have a drink, and they give you extra warm blankets to put around. So it's pretty easy. Now I have camped. Um, well, Pukida, I'm nowhere near Tremblant at the moment, so I'm leaving Quebec City tomorrow, and I'm going home. So if I get back to Tremblant, I always put up a tour there, but I'm just nowhere near it. I'm going to be home. As all goes well, now that huge snowstorm, Pearson Airport in Toronto, of course, had to cancel a third of its flights last night and again this morning. So I only have a 40-minute change tomorrow. There's Rudolph. These are all the carvings are fantastic. And here's Dancer right there. So no, I'm heading home for like 5 or 6 whole days. My intention was not to be away. Did you, Ronan? Yep. It was not to be away as long as I have been, but say I came up here, and I'm so glad because it's been fun. coming out with these kids as well. So here's where you have um, some more little. These are kind of public facilities here. See, that's the one I'm allowed to use because I'm not paying the 400 a night bare minimum. But why don't we just go to the end of the hallway for the fun of it, and then we'll make our way out to the front. But look all the way down here. Salut, ça va bien? Oui, oui, oui. You sit down like right now. That was a part. That's now here you get into this is suite number 10. This is Les Gardiennes de la Nuit. And by the way, here I'm sure I could have found them. And these are the names of the sculptors for someone who's asking about that earlier. So yeah, that's very typical to have proper acknowledgement, of course, of them. So I think it gets sealed off by 9:30 at night. No, 8:30. Sorry, 8:30 at night. So we are. The kids are all look at these colors. My kids, I call them my kids now because they feel like they're my kids, but they're all out doing snow tubing, having so much fun, and they're burning off energy too because they've been great kids. But when you're 11 and doing a lot of kind of learning activities, um, and then I'm going to bring them here for a little walk around, and then we're taking them for dinner. And oh, wait, this is a chinchilla, isn't it? Right there. Thanks, Tara. That's a chinchilla. I'm sure that's what that is. Um, I think we've got like 2 or 3 classes of rooms, is how they price it. Oh, excuse me. That's fine. Merci. Um, so, yeah, 30 minutes north. There you go. Rive de Passage, Isabelle Glace et Guy Olivier Deveau. Map is in the corner. Yeah, for those of you, check this out. Look at this. No, Hélène, le groupe, ils viennent de Toronto. And what I was saying at the very beginning as well about the group I have, isn't it lovely, Michelle? I'm so glad to be able to share this. I was hoping to see my mom here. I talked to her before. Maybe I just missed her sign on. Um, but no, my group say they're young students with I think about 12 really dedicated, wonderful teachers. But it's a French immersion school, and they thought this was my mom, but that's my Medusa. Um, yeah, Pokita, I think I just answered that question. Maybe you didn't hear me, but they have standards. I think people stay one night generally, maybe two for the experience. But the but yeah, so the kids are just so neat, and they just represent. Say it's a French immersion school, so we're doing the tour in French with them for the most part, unless you really have to say to them something else. Yeah, but this is like the whole complex here where we are. Thanks, Laura. Um, and you see the diversity of kids, like even for dietary requirements because of all the different faiths and everything. It's really a gorgeous thing. Oh, is Catherine here? Good. Where this hotel, Judy? Oh, that's good. This hotel is about 25 minutes north of Quebec City in La Belle Province, Quebec. So this would be. Do you know, Mom, seeing as how you're here, this reminds me so much of my childhood because our home was never any hotter than this growing up. that's, that's um, Mom's laughing, but she knows that's only a partial joke. Check check this out. This is the musical room. So that's that's now I think as I've gotten bit um a little bit deeper into the hotel, my reception's bouncing around a little bit, but I ran over to make sure to have the reception for everyone. So I mean I've hit quorum on time, everyone. Is cool guitar. I don't need to stop, of course, if you want to hang out. I'm sure everybody wants to spend a little bit more time here. So let me just kind of loop around and just show you a little bit more. Non, je vous en prie, Nathalie, ça fait plaisir. I mean, just the sheer quality of the artwork. This is very, sorry, I'm just saying it's a long question here. Um, no, it's just the type of room. Honestly, I really don't know how I mean, you have typical standards of like a double room or a suite and that sort of thing. So however they decide to price them is really, really, they're busy like, here's, I think this is a smaller room here. So this is probably Yeah, here's it. This is your starter um $400 room, right? And so is that right? Isn't it, Lisa? It really is awesome. Um, this is a buck. Now, it's 3 months, but if you come up here, I think Quebec City in the winter is just a fabulous place. Hi, Ruth. Fabulous place to hang out. As many of you know, I mean, I have a lot of time for Quebec City as well. I was a student here once upon a time. I enjoy Quebec City enormously, but I actually like I prefer being here in winter. It's just a true winter city. Lynn, I haven't eaten in here, but the the food. I mean, you're obviously in Quebec here. Thanks, Genesee. Quebec City. Well, the en-suites, Lynn, are all out the little wooden doors I was showing you earlier. That's the way the ensuite works. So they've got a general courtyard there. Um, it's not working in summer. No, Bella, it melts. They rebuild it every year. I mean, that's part of the work for it. But there's a huge amount of farm to table in the province of Quebec. Thanks, Molly. And that's really one of the special things about this particular city. So, Quebec City food is expensive. Drink is extremely expensive. tea glacé. But it is also, you sort of pay for it, but then it's so much food from the province and the region. You see electricity throughout. They've got 6 kilometers of electrical wire. I mean, honestly, some people would come here just for the sheer pleasure of the fabulous architecture in here. What a treat, isn't it? Lovely to see. Now let's start to make our way out. I just want to show you a bit more of this ice work. And of course, we watch ice sculptures all the time at home in Banff as well, of course, right? Um, yeah, there we go. This is to some of your earlier questions. Um, Each winter, there are more than 30 themed rooms and suites. There you go. How they made a wooden plank is surrounded by ice, and a queen size mattress is placed on top. And see, so then they put they say sleeping bags, but that's not actually what they are. They're full warm system. So it really does work well. Now I hadn't quite finished my story earlier. A number of years ago, I went dog sledding in the Yukon in the middle of winter, and I camped in minus 50, right? And that's where you bundle up, and it's just your nose that gets cold. That changes the feel of it. Bonjour. Um, so it is fun, yeah. But and again, once you get down to those real freezing temperatures, it's almost the same thing. But here right now, like this is perfect weather for all this. Now, because the walls are so thick, I mean, you're 1.2 meters thick of ice, about 4 feet or so. Even if they get above freezing for a few days, that's not going to affect it terribly. But that's also, as I say, the science behind it is pretty impressive. The fact that they've adjusted the humidity in the ice so that it actually holds its density is extremely important, and that's some science that I'd have to go and chat with some friends. This is an octopus, by the way, so I think the blue colors are pretty cool. Um, but yeah, just coming back to food. Oh, excuse me. Um, and here's number one. But if you go, in terms of food in Quebec, of course, traditionally very very heavy food, and that's because you're outside and it's cold. And it's funny, like I found the last few days with these kids, I've been outside a lot, and I've gotten pretty chilly. Oh, this is yeah, and then I get hungry, right? It was cause and effect, pretty simple thing. So let's head out through the gates here and see. This is one of the ways of moderation. Look at the sky all of a sudden, ladies and gentlemen. Oh boy, and of course, we're moving gradually towards sunset. Oh, I can come up here too. So I want to try and give you a better view off the back. I don't know when I'm going to get to do another trip here. I mean, I do get to Quebec in the winter, but this is just a treat of treats to be in here. Look at these nice little railings to come up. Thanks, Jim. And if you fall and hurt yourself, then you just lay down and keep icing yourself and you'll get better. But now you have the Montmorency River and these whole water systems that flow down. Remember, this is all the drainage of the spectacular Laurentian Mountains. They drain down. The solo poutine? No, I don't think so. I don't. Solo poutine. My kids haven't actually had poutine on this trip. They were having moderately healthy food. For those of you who are unfamiliar, thanks for following, Julie. Poutine. Poutine, of course, is a French Canadian staple. French fries, cheese curds, and gravy. The kids are 11 now, so it's um, uh, if you're asking why you can't sign into Beams, it's Don Alice. But that's sadly, and that's why that isn't it a unique experience? I do want to say, and it's not. I just want to share this with everybody. I want to just show you behind me. Thanks, Laurie. You might see wind blowing off the top, and now I want to show you this machine coming by right here. This is how they grate the roads in the winter. Um, that's nice. Then. Thanks, Aaron and Joe. Listen, I'm waiting for the wedding invitation. But so much fun, and the fun thing about being here in the wintertime is there's no mosquitoes. It's one of my complaints going up in Laurentians. But you see these big, wide valleys up through there. That's because this is all scoured down by glaciers. So, but yeah, just saying. Thanks, Hayward. Nice to touch base with you. I'm obviously um, the red and white building. Um, I don't think I see a red and white building unless you're talking about this. This is the main hotel complex. That's actually an indoor water park all summer. So Valcartier now is a year-round. Yeah, they have hot tubs. They're not open right now. That's the stuff. See, that's where you have hot tubs, and then there's actual heated toilets and all that. But that's all closed down. I know they have a water park in the summer, and then obviously in the winter, basically this whole province is frozen. Although um, and look like a candy cane, all right. And then if you look at the exposed water down around here, um, yeah, it's just tough. But it's nice to see that. Oh, this building, sorry, this thing over here. That's all part. There's just so again, you can see way in the distance. Those are water slides in the summer, right? We live in a world of extremes here in Canada, and then in the winter because it's frozen, it's snow tubing. So that's one of the it's either a power station or a warming shack or something like that. That's what all of that is, right? So hopefully that makes some sense. So yeah, just coming back very briefly because I have hit time, but I'm going to walk back inside in a minute and go back to my real job. I've been squirreling around out here. Um, San Gabriel is quite small now. Yeah, it is. But it's nice. It's not that far up. Like I was out today. I was all the way up at San Beaupré and up at the coast, and now, zip down here. So back in the bar. Isn't it lovely to around? But yeah, I just sort of mentioned that I because other virtual platforms have not done as well, I have signed back into the sponsorship program, and I don't feel like it's necessarily a huge win for me personally. But if Hago can show that it has consistent support every month, it will help the platform to survive or be sustainable. No, Sean, beer's really warm here. I know I'm gonna miss Carnival, and I love. You're welcome, Jill. It's my pleasure. Carnival in Quebec City, and I've been here twice for it in my life, is one of the funnest things you can ever do. And of all the things they're doing for Carnival, we have this old joke when people are walking around in Quebec City during Carnival. It's their winter carnival. You yes, I'll tell you about it. It looks like everyone has a bad hip. Yeah, well, and I was with Sam just the other day. Somebody saw. Thanks, Patty. But you think everyone has a bad hip or knee because they all have a cane, but their canes are hollow and they're holding human antifreeze, right? But of all the things in carnivals, when they race across the St. Lawrence because it's half frozen, so you'll have to look on one of my videos or something. And they race across, and they have to jump in and out of the boat as they go across the ice. Well, it's great, Sandy. I'm glad you enjoyed that hotel de glace. Thanks, Noreen. It's my pleasure. I mean, I'm very lucky, of course, that I travel the world anyway. Normally, I try and be a little more consistent and put up a virtual tour most days. I haven't for a couple of days, although at least I was able to catch up with Sam. And as I know a lot of people are celebrating their 2-year anniversaries and stuff, and I don't know. I don't really know where I'm going to be for mine, but we'll have to have a celebration. But thank you both, but I am going to put up sort of a list of all the guides I've been able to meet. And I've really been happy enough that I've been able, like Sam was the local guide for my group the other day, right? So I've been able to actually create some work for for other guides as well, which is really neat to connect that way. Thank you, everyone. Thanks. Jennifer, you're in Michigan, so I'll be down there fairly soon. I can't wait. You're welcome, Laura. So um, I will totally be, I'm going to have to put up tours quite last minute, but I can tell you, Cindy, um, I have, well, not this exact one because it's rebuilt every year. So it's different every time. But yes, I mean, back when it was in Charlevoix, I had been to it. So that was my last experience. Here's one of the fire pits out here. Oh, you're welcome, Lucy. But for those of you, I do obviously warmly appreciate all your support. If I missed a contribution, I'm sorry that I missed your name. Um, isn't it fun? So yeah, I want to do a celebration with all the guides. The other one thing I would ask, and I don't like to try and, aside from old friends of mine, I don't want to necessarily pick one group over another. But if you thanks, Ruth, but if you're able to go on and tip on any of the tours in Peru and even Bolivia these days, I have a very close relationship with that part of the world. Many of you joined me down there, um, and our friends down the other country is in just a horrendous shape. And so the only income any of them have now, when this should be high tour season, um, yeah, it's really really hard, and it's emotionally challenging for them as well. For those of you who are asking, it feels like a Hallmark movie, doesn't it? For those of you who are asking, everyone, snow tubing are, yeah, the great big, sure, are the great big round tubes, and you get pulled up and you ride down to the biggest one. Is not open today because it snowed so much. It's called the Everest out there, and that one's almost straight down. So you see that out there. So much fun. But yeah, so I can. The other building's just really a main lodge, right? But so there's the whole ice hotel, and then this. You're very welcome. Yeah, and there's the Bora Park up there, and that's a big water park in summer. And then this is a full-on hotel out here. And remember, we are in La Belle Province, Quebec, and we are in an area that's about 96% francophone, French speaking as a first language. Thanks, Sue. And I love that too. Um, so, oh, is Raynan on? Okay, everyone. Listen, if Raynan's on, if you would crowd over to see Raynan and say hi for me. For non-skiers, tubing is huge, and it's created a ton of. Oops, sorry, my battery's been in the cold long enough. Um, Oh, and okay. And if Elizabeth has a tour, listen. On that note, thank you for telling me. Cindy, absolutely. I send me a message through my website, tome.travel. I'd love to do a tour with you. I'm going to be in Ann Arbor as well. So I'm lecturing at Saginaw Bay University, and they're kind of my handlers. Now, they're wicked people, and I love them. And they know that I'm going to try and do some virtual tours. But it would be so much fun to do a meetup. Listen, if you can make it to either Elizabeth or Raynan down in South America, that would be so, so lovely. Thank you for connecting. Thank you for following. And if you want to consider sponsoring, not necessarily me, but guides, and then it's just doing more for the health of our platform as well and our virtual world. So thank you, everyone. Thanks, Liz. Big hugs to all of you. And I'm going to have to find a way to plug this phone in because I need it for a few more hours. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you. Here, I'll just give you one last view. Well, can't really give a great one. There we are. Down towards where the ice hotel is. Bonjour, bon après-midi, bon anniversaire, Lynn. Et on y parle très bientôt. Au revoir.